start of the universe, there were Titans, which are gods born out of planets, kind of. The Titans formed a pantheon which went around looking for more baby Titan planets called World Souls. One of these planets was named Azeroth, currently inhabited by a bunch of elementals. A mysterious group of beings who wanted to kill the pantheon, named the Void Lords, were also looking for world souls and sent their servants, the old gods, to go find and corrupt them. Some old gods found Azeroth and started bleeding bugs on everything. The pantheon eventually finds Azeroth too, and they start fighting everyone. First the elementals, then the old gods. The Titans win, but they can't kill the old gods without killing Azeroth, so they build prisons instead. They leave behind a bunch of metal guys, and also some dragons to look after Azeroth and guard the prison in their absence. Off in another section of the universe, the Titan Sargeras learns the old gods could corrupt Titan planets and decides the only reasonable solution is to kill all life in the universe, so he starts building a massive army called the Burning Legion by corrupting inhabitants of Titan planets. The Pantheon isn't happy that all their planets are being corrupted, so they try to calm Sargeras down, telling him that the army is pointless because they found a world soul strong enough to defeat the Void Lords. Sargeras responds by killing the Pantheon and imprisoning their spirits, and sets out to find and destroy Azeroth, fearing what would happen if a Titan that powerful was corrupted. Unfortunately, Sargeras forgot to ask where Azeroth was first, so he has to start looking for it. Another powerful world soul is Argus, a planet inhabited by the Eridar who are led by Archimonde, Kil'jaeden, and Velen. Sargeras wants to corrupt Argus and approaches the free rulers in disguise, offering them immense power with no strings attached. Archimonde and Kil'jaeden accept the power like suckers, and most of the Eridar get corrupted, but Velen realizes it's a trick and refuses. Velen prays for guidance, and a race of sentient chandeliers called Banaro hear him and send a spaceship, which Velen and the remaining uncorrupted Eridar use to flee Argus. The uncorrupted group changes their name to the Draenei, which means the exiled ones. Kil'jaeden is angry about their escape and vows to hunt them down. Sargeras corrupts the world soul of Argus and uses it to build a machine that lets him regenerate anyone in his army, making them effectively immortal. Meanwhile, back on Azeroth, the imprisoned old gods drive their guards crazy and make a curse that turns stuff into meat, meaning these guys turn into these guys. A big magic pool called the Well of Eternity that was left behind by the Titans starts hyper-evolving deer and squirrels into a race called Trolls. The Trolls dub themselves the Zandalari and form the Zandalari Empire, which has a strict caste system. The lowest caste decides that being in the lowest caste sucks and leaves to form their own empires. One of these empires settles by the Well of Eternity and evolve even further, transforming into elves. These newly formed elves create the Kaldorei Empire. Led by Queen Azshara, they use the Well of Eternity to gain magical and technological superiority, allowing them to swiftly defeat the Zandalari and take over Kalimdor. The Kaldorai's excessive use of the Well of Eternity lets Sargeras magically access Azeroth, but he still has no idea where it is in physical space, so he needs to rely on opening portals to invade. Since he needs a powerful mage to open the portals, Sargeras reaches out to Azshara and offers her a place at his side. Azshara agrees and uses the Well of Eternity to summon a Burning Legion into Azeroth. The dragons in an elf rebellion led by Tyrande Whisperwind and brothers Illidan and Malfurion Stormrage fight to stop Azshara in the War of the Ancients. Attempting to gain power against the Legion, Illidan pretends to join Azshara's forces. Sargeras is so grateful he stabs out Illidan's eyes and gives him cool demon vision. This allows Illidan to see the true power of the Burning Legion, and he begins to fear their defeat on Azeroth will ultimately be pointless. One of the 5 aspects, named Neltharion, is driven mad by the old gods, who convince him to steal the Ever Aspect's powers by making a weapon called the Dragon Soul under the guise of fighting the Legion. Once the weapon is built, Neltharion blows everyone up with it. He changes his name to Deathwing to show off how edgy and cool he is. Malfurion steals the Dragon Soul and hides it. Deathwing is sealed in Deephelm, a big cave at the core of Azeroth. The Rebellion shuts down the portal and stops the Legion, but the Well of Eternity is destroyed in the process, which causes a big magical explosion called the Sundering that breaks Kalimdor into a bunch of little pieces.
10,000 years ago, all the continents of Azeroth were as one. And it is said that all the rivers in the world flowed to one magical place. This was the ancient Empire of Pandaria, nestled in the most fertile of river valleys at the far end of the world. Behold, the last emperor on the day of his coronation. His name was Xiaohao. Young Xiaohao was born to be emperor and wanted for nothing. The wealth of the great Pandaren Empire was his to command. All Pandaren emperors begin their reign by consulting with the great Jinyu elders. It was said that the Jinyu could talk to the rivers, that they could hear whispers of the future in the rippling waves. The great water speaker closed his eyes and listened to the rivers. He listened for the emperor's long life and prosperous realm, but he heard something else entirely. The wise old Jinyu saw a faraway land, a kingdom of elves grown bold in their arrogance. He saw a pit of fire, a great maw opening upon countless horrors. Numberless demons were about to pour forth onto Azeroth, rending the land, corrupting all they touched. Even if the demons were defeated, the world would be forever broken, the continents forever shattered. Emperor Xiao watched in disbelief as the Jinyu water speaker reeled from the terror of his vision. "What did you see?" Xiao asked. "Long life? Prosperous realm?" But the future held neither for the last emperor of the Pandaren. No, young Xiao could not rest on the riches of his empire. If he was to save his land and his people, he would be called to do something great. He would embark on an epic journey. He would sacrifice all that he was. This is his story. The horrible vision of the Sundering weighed heavily on Emperor Xiao. Cold and alone, he ascended Mount Everest, seeking wisdom from the Jade Serpent. "What troubles you, young Emperor?" the Spirit of Wisdom asked. Xiao replied, "Countless demons will soon pour over Azeroth. What must I do to save my kingdom?" The Jade Serpent answered, "Seek out the heart of Pandaria, for the answer lies within." "But how can I find it?" the Emperor protested. "Your emotions cloud you," said the Serpent. "Free yourself of these burdens. Let the land be your teacher." But the Emperor did not understand. He sulked back to his home in the Jade Forest. As he traveled, he commiserated with his old friend, the Monkey King. "I was to have a long life, a prosperous realm," the Emperor cried. "I cannot do this." "Relax," said the Monkey King. "We are in this together." As he spoke, the four winds began to howl. A great gust blew the Monkey King away. The Monkey King laughed and called out above the growing storm, "Sorry, you can't fight fate." The Emperor cried out for his friend. "No, wait! I cannot do this alone." And in that moment, all of Xiao's uncertainty was manifest in a terrible dark energy, a Sha of doubt. The more the Emperor struggled, the more he weakened. The Sha would surely overtake him. Then Xiao remembered the wisdom of the Jade Serpent, and he looked to the land for answers. Nearby, the bamboo of the Jade Forest was also threatened. The reeds that stood rigid against the gale broke under its force. But the reeds that bent with the wind endured the storm and prospered in the rain. Xiao realized the lesson of the reed, and when he turned his back to the Sha, suddenly all his doubts vanished. He knew he could be more than just emperor. The four winds carried the laughing Monkey King over the valley and through the wilds. The emperor's faith led him onward to save his friend and to stop the terrible sundering the Water Speaker had foreseen. Emperor Xiao Hao, free of doubt, pursued his friend, the Monkey King. With the wind at his back, Xiao Hao ran. But in his haste, the Emperor stumbled into the dense and untamed swamps of the Krasarang Wilds. No! The Emperor cried out. He fought to free himself, but only sank further. The more the Emperor worried, the deeper he sank. His worries had taken form, the shore of despair. Xiao Hao cried out, "Help!" Far above, the majestic red crane of hope soared. "Why do you struggle so?" the crane asked. "I have lost my friend, my kingdom," Xiao Hao cried. "It is hopeless." "Your friend is not lost," the crane replied. "You are." Again, Xiao Hao looked to Pandaria for the answer. He saw the great tree growing in the middle of the swamp. The branches reached for the heavens, but its roots stretched deep into the earth. Xiao Hao's feet found purchase. With hope in his heart, the Emperor reached upward, and the grip of despair loosened. "I must never forget who I am," he said. "I am the Emperor, and I will save this land." Could hear the Monkey King's laughter on the wind, but it came from the west, beyond the serpent's spine wall. This was the land of the Mantid, mortal enemy of all Pandaren. "I cannot do this," Xiao Hao decided. Trembling, the Emperor turned to leave. "Where are you going?" asked a voice. "I'm afraid to go on," said the Emperor. Looking into the wastes, he saw a great black ox. "Just follow your feet," the black ox said. "They will know the way." Xiao Hao descended the wall and crept through the strange realm. To the Emperor, it was a waking nightmare. But his feet led the way. Soon, he heard a dreadful sound. Three vile Mantid warriors argued how they would split up and devour their prize, the Monkey King. Xiao Hao was paralyzed with terror. The insidious Shaw of Fear held him in place. The voice of the ox came to Xiao Hao, saying, "You must not let your fear control you, my Emperor. You must control your fear." Xiao Hao looked once again to the land for answers. The great Kaipari trees of the town-long steppes were legendary for their sap. In one bead of amber, Xiao Hao found his answer. I will not be paralyzed by fear, the Emperor proclaimed. Xiao Hao hurled his weight against the nearest tree, and giant globs of sap rained down from above. And now it was the mantid who were held fast as they struggled against the sap. The Emperor had saved his friend. As they fled, the Monkey King was overwhelmed by doubt. Emperor, we cannot do this alone, he cried. You should create an army to crush the mantid once and for all. Free of his doubts and master of his fears, the Emperor was more confident than ever. No, said Xiao Hao. The storm that burns the sky comes for the mantid as well. We need an army to crush a legion. The last Emperor of Pandaria faced a terrible fortune. A burning legion set to tear the world asunder. He had cast away his doubt, despair, and fear. Now, confidence brimming, he would build an army. High atop the peaks of Kunlai Summit, the 100 greatest warriors of Pandaria perfected their arts under the watchful eye of the White Tiger, the spirit of strength. I need an army, Xiao Hao announced. I have come for my warriors. But the White Tiger recognized a great darkness within the brash Emperor. Why do you fight? The tiger asked. Xiao Hao bristled. To destroy demon hordes, to crush those who oppose me. No, that is no reason to fight, the tiger said. You are indeed fearless, but still, you are burdened. The Emperor scoffed, so the White Tiger issued a challenge. Take this staff, and if you can touch any one of my warriors, they are yours to command. Spurred on by the howls of the Monkey King, the Emperor spun about, thrusting and swinging the staff. But the warriors easily dodged his every blow. Furious, Xiao Hao roared. The sum of all his rage, the Shah of anger burst forth. The Emperor fumed and broke the staff over his knee. Violence and hatred erupted. You see now why you are not ready to lead? The White Tiger proclaimed. Your anger does not empower you. It makes you weak. Defenseless, Xiao Hao faced the darkness he had created. As one, the Shah struck out. But as the smoke cleared, the Emperor stood, unharmed. The shape of a mighty warrior lay broken at his feet. A warrior who had paid the ultimate price to save his Emperor. Xiao Hao's heart swelled as he knelt humbly before the White Tiger. My rage exacted a heavy toll, the Emperor said. A single sacrifice has shown me the power of fellowship, of love, of peace. The white tiger nodded. Again, I ask, why do you fight? For home and family, Xiao Hao replied. For the people, I protect. For them, I would give my final breath. Thank you, White Tiger. Relieved at last of all his burdens, the Emperor rose. Come, Monkey King. We must go to the heart of Pandaria before all is lost. As the Emperor and his friends set out, the skies grew black. For the time of the sundering had come. And so Xiao Hao came to the heart of the land, the sacred veil within the center of his empire. Purged of all his burdens, the Emperor radiated enlightenment. Inside the veil, his people huddled for shelter. They knew that the end of the world had come, and they cried out for the Emperor to save them. People of Pandaria, Xiao Hao declared, stay calm, focus your minds, and together we will make it through this. But his people did not understand. As Xiao Hao gazed upon their faces, he saw the burdens that he had overcome. He recognized doubt and despair. He saw his people frozen in fear or trembling with anger. And he knew that they had little time to learn what he had learned. My people need time, the Emperor realized. And in that moment, the Emperor recalled the lesson of the Jade Serpent. Seek out the heart of Pandaria, for the answer lies within. As Xiao Hao reflected on his journey, he looked to the land and saw a single blossom in the wind. No matter the burdens I faced, he thought, the land provided guidance. But the truest answers always came from within. And then it became clear. I was to have a long life and a prosperous realm. But I am more than just Emperor. I now know what I must do. For I am the heart of Pandaria. People of Pandaria, Xiao Hao proclaimed, you are not yet ready to face the storm that comes for you. And I cannot stop it. But you will weather this storm, and many more. For I will give you the time to learn the lessons that I have learned. And then, the last Emperor of Pandaria sacrificed all that he was, and all that he would be, and gave his final breath to become one with the land. A dense mist surrounded and protected his empire. And while the rest of the world broke apart in the fury of the Sundering, Pandaria set itself free. Hidden by the Emperor's breath, it drifted out to sea like a blossom on the wind. The trees in the Vale have never stopped blossoming. And in time, we Pandaren learned to live as our Emperor lived. His lessons endure in the temples of his land. And from the snowy peaks of Kunlai summit, he watches over us. And it is said that if we listen very closely, he speaks to us still through the mists. These are the Emperor's gifts to us. And this is Pandaria.
No! I am queen. This is the empire I built.
It is over. People.
My queen.
This is my fault.
No! Please! No! This was not the deal I made!
Deal? I like deal.
Who are you? Show yourself! At once!
For 1,000 years, bound beneath these waves, I have watched you. I have tasted your essence.
You.
It won't be long now. Your death is near. Only I can sustain you. Let go. Serve me.
You are nothing.
Nothing. I am a god. Before you walked this land, I ruled.
Magnificent.
Serve me, and we will rebuild my empire.
No.
No! You will die!
A queen! Not a slave. You've watched me for 1,000 years, so you know what I want. Take my people. With them, I will raise an army, conquer your enemies, build an empire as queen. Or let me die, and you will remain here, a prisoner, the god of nothing.
The world has been sundered. It cries out in pain. We must go to its aid. We entrust our ancestral home to you, the Watchers. Let the land slumber, hidden even from our own eyes. You will feel our return in the waking of the land. Then you must light the beacon of Tearhold, lest the path home be lost to us forever.
Obsessed with the power of a night well and fearing another Legion invasion, Illidan uses water he'd stolen from a well of eternity to make a new well on Mount Hyjal. The other elves are angered by this and throw Illidan in jail for his actions. The remaining elves fight over whether to use the last of the well and break into two factions. The Night Elves stay on Kalimdor, and the Highborn travel to the Eastern Kingdoms and make a new font of magical energy called the Sunwell. They rename themselves to the High Elves. The children of some Vrykul and Northrend are being born mutated. These mutated children are ordered to be killed, but some are snuck to the Eastern Kingdoms instead. Here they form tribes and call themselves humans. One group of humans, called the Arathi tribe, begins to unite the other groups under one banner, forming the Kingdom of Arathor. Eventually, the Kingdom of Arathor grows so large that several of its biggest cities declare independence and break off into the kingdoms of Gilneas, Alterac, Dalaran, Kultiras, Stormwind, and Lordaeron. The High Elves ally themselves with humans to fight the trolls living in the Eastern Kingdoms, while the Night Elves and Dragons fight the Old God bugs and lock them in the Titan prison of Ahn'Qiraj. The High Elves teach the humans magic, and some of the humans start to accidentally summon demons and elementals. To protect against the threats created by humans having magic, the leaders of Dalaran decide to give one human a whole bunch more magic. This person is called the Guardian, and they pass their power on to the next person the council chooses when they retire. Sargeras, who still has no idea where Azeroth is physically, is currently trying to open another portal to invade Faerû, but opening an army-sized portal requires a lot of magic, so Sargeras can only open a small portal and send a less powerful mini-version of himself called an Avatar Faerû. His avatar then proceeds to start eating dragons in order to gain more magic. But dragons aren't a fan of being eaten, so they ask the humans for help, and the humans send the current guardian, Aegwynn, who goes to Northrend and kills the avatar, sealing its body in the tomb of Sargeras so it can't be resurrected. Unbeknownst to Aegwynn, a portion of Sargeras' soul powering the avatar jumps into her when she kills it, and proceeds to hide there. Aegwynn decides that someone else getting to choose who gets her powers is lame, so she goes into hiding. Remember Velen and those goats on the spaceship that were fleeing the Legion? They just crashed onto a peaceful planet called Draenor and made friends with the Orcs, a race of shaman who are happy to share their planet. Everyone is friendly, and these two races are sure to be lifelong pals. Back on Azeroth, the dwarves are living inside a mountain when their king dies, and suddenly everyone wants to be the new leader. The War of the Three Hammers breaks out, and the dwarves split into the Bronzebeard, Darkiron, and Wildhammer clans. The Bronzebeards win and take over Ironforge. Angry over losing the war, the Darkirons try to summon elementals to kill the other clans, but they do too good a job and accidentally summon Ragnaros, the Fire Lord, who traps the Darkiron dwarves inside a Black Rock mountain and forces them to act as his slaves. Aegwynn is still in hiding and just had a child named Medivh. Unbeknownst to her, the latent fragments of Sargeras' soul jump into Medivh and hide inside him. In a stunning display of nepotism, Aegwynn gives her infant child the powers of a guardian. The human kingdom of Stormwind goes to war with the Gurubashi trolls. During a troll attack on Stormwind City, the now adult Medivh uses his powers as the guardian to obliterate the trolls and save the city. He's heralded as a hero and welcomed as the new guardian. Sargeras remains undiscovered inside of him. On Draenor, Kil'jaeden has tracked down Velen and the Draenei. He reaches out to an orc shaman named Gul'dan.
No one living has heard of the village of my path.
Damn, you pathetic wretch! Long have you refused your place in this clan. Now, we rid ourselves of your filth once and for all.
Get it over with.
So, even now you test me!
Enough! I have tried to help him find his place among us. I failed. Gul'dan, there's nothing more I can do for you. But no, I have always believed there is greatness within you. Seek out the throne of the elements. Perhaps there you will find your destiny.
Begone, cripple! You are cast out. In the wastes, you will understand what it means to have no people.
From childhood, my deformity made me a target for mockery and dismissal. I knew I was meant for more than the clan would ever allow of me, and I hated them for it. But after months, alone and starving, I began to consider that the safety and shelter of a clan might be better than endless suffering. The bitterness that had sustained me all my life
is left. In my weakness, the words of the old shaman pierced the cold.
Seek out the throne of the elements.
There, humbled and broken, I offered myself in the service of whatever would end my anguish. The elements abandoned me. But in their absence, other voices whispered. They had come to me to offer a gift. In return, I would become the harbinger of their fury. Gul'dan. How dare you return here? You may never rejoin your people.
My people.
I have no people! Grovel for a place in this world. Instead, I would forge a world that would grovel before me. Thank you. I found my destiny. No one living has heard of the village of my birth. And no one ever will.
Shaman named Gul'dan, offering him power if he helps turn the orcs against him. Gul'dan agrees and proceeds to frame the Draenei for attacks on orc villages. The orcs respond by banding together to stop the Draenei. Gul'dan forms a cool new group called the Horde, and the secret ingredient is fell magic. He convinces the Horde to drink the blood of a demon Manaroth, which has the side effect of turning their skin green and also enslaving them to the Legion. He installs a bloodthirsty Black Hand as the puppet Warchief. This new, fell-crazed Horde slaughters the Draenei, who flee into the forest led by Velen. Under Warchief Black Hand, the Horde is reckless and destructive. Quickly, they eat all the food on Draenor and need a new place to live. Sargeras sees this as an opportunity to have his avatar freed from the tomb and tells Gul'dan about a lush planet the Horde can invade called Azeroth. Back on Azeroth, Sargeras begins to corrupt Medivh from within, eventually convincing him to help Gul'dan open a dark portal, a massive gate that connects Azeroth to Draenor. The orcs pour
There has been a war between orcs and humans for as long as can be remembered. But there was once a time when we did not even know who our enemy was. Or what that evil green magic, the Fell, had done to us.
She's all you had.
No.
Who fights for your clan? Blackhead.
You are no monsters. Darkstar! You will fight one of these frost wolves. You live, you join the war band. You die, my wolf will eat well for days.
I marched my clan for a month to be here. Where's this new homeland of your summons? Everything we've seen is either dead or dying.
We are to conquer a new world. Those of us who are brave enough to fight for it. And we fight this old Fang. I'll break his bones! You're not afraid, are you?
What I fear are empty promises.
I will tell Gul'dan you doubted him before you died.
Monster enough for you, War Chief?
Feed them.
You came all of this way to dig up a magic portal.
It is the path to a new world. You believe this? I believe in Gul'dan. I believe in the Fell. His death magic has made me powerful. You'll see. You feel the strength of 5. You owe it to your clan to return. Make your warriors unstoppable. Blackhand. Frostwolf clan. Not quite the monsters I was expecting.
Your warriors seem pleased with Gul'dan's gift. You don't want his magic?
I respect Gul'dan. A warrior is not made with magic. He is forged in battle.
I can't seem strong enough without.
Why be strong enough when there is stronger still? Yes, but you're green.
You're the only man I'd ever make plow blades for, Othar. You and your army of farmers can attack the turf with dwarven steel, eh? Sends a shiver down my spine just to say it. What will my wives think?
Military man's curse, my lord. The better I do my job, the less a master do.
Well, still good to see you, old friend. We'll have your wagons packed and on their way just as soon as they're ready. Othar, come. I've got something for you.
What is it?
A mechanical marvel. It's a boomstick. Odd. Take water. might want to head home, big man. Seems someone's attacked one of your garrisons.
A griffin. This way. It's tame.
Nobody I'd rather be. I am the one and only. You can't take that away from me. I am the one and only. Nobody I'd rather be.
What kind of beasts? Rumors, Your Majesty.
In the Age of Chaos, two factions battled for dominance. The kingdom of Azeroth was a prosperous one. The humans who dwelled there turned the land into a paradise. The Knights of Stormwind and the clerics of Norsha Abbey roamed far and wide, serving the king's people with honor and justice. The well-trained armies of the king maintained a lasting peace for many generations. Then came the Orcish hordes. No one knew where these creatures came from, and none were prepared for the terror that they spawned. Their warriors wielded axe and spear with deadly proficiency, while others rode dark wolves as black as the moonless night. Unimagined were the destructive powers of their evil magics derived from the fires of the underworld. With an ingenious arsenal of weaponry and powerful magic, these two forces collide in a contest of cunning, intellect, and brute strength, with the victor
Corona's dagger.
I pulled that from Lane's neck.
Well, there has to be an explanation.
Yes. She made a choice.
I don't believe that.
Maybe you and I didn't know her as well as we thought we did.
There is no greater blessing a city can have than a king who would sacrifice himself for his people. But such a sacrifice must be earned. We must deserve it. If we only show our unity to mourn a good man's death. Was King Lane wrong to believe in you?
Resurrect and the Alliance!
You will travel far, my little Goa. My world may be lost, but this is your world now. Take what you need from it. Make a home for the orcs and let no one stand in your way.
My lord, you should see this.
You are the son of Duratan and Draka, an unbroken line of chieftains. And our people need a leader now, more than ever.
The once mighty army of Azeroth lay among the blackened and charred remains of Stormwind Keep. Those that escaped fled across the Great Sea, bringing tales of the suffering they had faced at the hands of the Orcish hordes. Eager to engage in battle once again, the Orcs constructed ships of war to bear them across the Great Sea. The Orcish warriors yearned for the sounds of battle to fill the air, and looked to the far horizon for new blood to spill. Using the weapons forged by their new allies, the humans made haste to prepare for the onslaught. While dwarven cannon were being loaded, others armed themselves with elven steel and mail. United in arms with new allies against a common foe, mankind stands at the shores of destiny and awaits the coming of the Tides of Darkness.
Orcish hordes lay vanquished as the triumphant armies of the Alliance stood vigil over the evil gateway that had brought the Orcs into Azeroth. Calling upon the arcane powers of the Archwizard Khadgar, the fury of the earth and skies were unleashed upon the Dark Portal to destroy it once and for all. Blinding light dimmed, an eerie glow fell across the black morass. For though the portal was destroyed, the rift that joined these worlds at war yet remained.